hello to all my NEET aspirants out there. I know a lot of teachers have already made up videos regarding solution and things like that, but I'm still sure there might be some children who will be still confused as to what is the answer for this particular question and that, and we are here to help you out with that, and also for a big announcement. And my dear children, I know you might be having mixed feelings. Some of your exam might have went well, some of your exam might have not went that great. It's okay. Always have that ray of hope in your heart and always try to do better. Always remember, everything happens for a reason, and that reason has to be a good reason. Yes, it is a good reason. Believe like that and work really hard. If you want to get into NEET only, then we have a plan for you. I'm going to talk about that. I'll take just 1 minute of your time, but please listen to me out carefully. If you are planning to go into NEET, if you are someone who's done with NEET, then okay, we'll try to do something for you guys as well. But as of now, do not be positive around it. Okay, you are here for a reason. You did absolutely great, and you are going to do absolutely great in your life as well. So listen to me out. Everyone who wants to go ahead with NEET. Okay children, now it's time to find the answers for biology portion of NEET 2025. I do not know how your paper was. I'm assuming it was fine, it was good. For some it might have been difficult, but whatever has happened has happened. You cannot do anything about it. Yeah, please have that little ray of hope in your head, okay, and have that positive attitude that everything that happens for a reason in your life, my dear children. Okay, and please not be worried about the answers. These answers have been found out by the NEET experts right there in Deeksha, so you can 100% trust, you can put your 100% trust on us that the answers would be correct. Yes, NEET would be providing answer key later on. We will be checking through that also. If at all there are any changes, then we would be putting that as well. So please do not worry about anything as of now. Please just try to find the answers, if your answers and these answers are matching or not, and if you're not getting good score, it's okay. As I said, please have that ray of hope. Your life does not end over here. Remember that. I have seen a bit more life than you. That's why I'm telling you. There are a lot of situations where we feel like, oh my God, I'm done with it. Okay, but my dear children, you should be moving ahead, because something good awaits for you every single day. You have to think like that. Okay, that's the way we work, right? And please, my dear children, that's all. Be good. Okay, be good. Do not be worried about anything. Yes. So, chalo. Which of the following is the unit of productivity of an ecosystem? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 options, my dear children. Kilocalorie meter square per year, and gram meter square, and lot of other things. Your only answer is this one. That is 1. That is 1. Okay, going ahead. The first menstruation is called, what do you call it? You call it menarche. The last menstruation, you call it what? Menopause, my dear children. So is it ovulation? No. Menopause? No. Menarche? Yes. Diapause? No. So your answer would be menarche. Easy question. Now, given below are the two statements. One is labeled as assertion, other is labeled as reason. So all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. So my dear children, under chordata you have 3 subphylum. One is urochordata, other one is cephalochordata, and the third one is vertebrata. So yes, all vertebrates come under chordates, correct? All vertebrates are chordates, but are all chordates vertebrates? No, my dear children. There is urochordata, there is cephalochordata, they are not vertebrates. Okay, the one that has vertebral column would be known as vertebrates, right? Now, that is correct. Now, the members of subphylum vertebrata possess notochord during embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adults. Yeah, so in the embryonic period, they have what? They have this notochord, and it is replaced by the vertebral column, which is why they are known as vertebrates, and which is the reason they are being separate. So, can I say both the statements A and R are correct? And R is kind of explaining assertion also. I'm not saying completely explaining, but yes, it is kind of explaining the assertion that yes, vertebrates are like this, which is why they are grouped out separately, which is why not all chordates can be vertebrates. Okay, so I'll say A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So your answer would be 2. Cool. Now going ahead, genes R and Y follow independent assortment if capital Y produces round and yellow seeds, and small y produces wrinkled green seeds. What will be the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation? Basically, you are asked about the dihybrid cross ratio. Okay, you had asked about the dihybrid cross F2 generation ratio. What is the answer? It is 9:3:3:1. We know the one that follows independent assortment, 9 of them would be round and yellow. Okay, 3 of them would be round and green, new combination, and 3 of them will be wrinkled and yellow, and 1 of them will be wrinkled and green. Parental combination. So 2 parental combination, one is dominant one, round and yellow, one is the recessive one, wrinkled and green, and here you will find non-parental combination. So 9:3:3:1 is the ratio of F2 generation of dihybrid cross. So your answer becomes 4. Okay, now going ahead, Until now it's been easy. Now the DNA fragments extracted from gel electrophoresis can be used in the construction of recombinant DNA. Yes, I can use it. That is why I am doing gel electrophoresis, right? I am separating it and then I am going to put it for for my construction of recombinant DNA. That is correct. Now going ahead, smaller size DNA fragments are observed near anode while larger fragments are near the wells in the agarose gel. My dear children, listen, over here you have to be careful. So smaller size DNA fragments are towards the anode. Anode is what? Anode is the positively charged electrode, right? It is the positively charged electrode. Now DNA is what? Negatively charged. So basically the smaller fragments, yes, they would be moving towards the positive because positive and negative can come together. Negative and negative would be repelling. So negative electrode is the cathode. From there it will come. It will run and come over here towards the anode. So I will say that this particular statement is also correct. And larger fragments, is they cannot move that easily, so they would be more towards the wells region where they have been put up initially. Okay, they are not very fast. So can I say both statement 1 and 2 are correct? Yes. So your answer would be 2. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Okay, there is no reason and this and that. Now, what is the main function of spindle fibers during mitosis? I hope you know that. What is the use of spindle fibers? Spindle fibers will be coming in. Is it for beauty? No, my dear children. These spindle fibers are going to attach on the kinetochore and they are going to separate the chromatids, right? They are going to separate the chromosomes or the chromatids or whatever is there. So, I will say to separate the chromosomes, but still if you want to see, to regulate the cell growth, no. To separate the chromosome, yes. To synthesize new DNA, no. To repair damaged DNA, no. Your answer is just 2. Okay, now going ahead, how many meiotic and mitotic divisions need to occur for the development of mature female gametophyte from megaspore mother cell in an angiosperm plant? Megaspore mother cell, MMC, undergoes 1 meiotic division, right? At the end it gets 4 cells. It gets 4 cells. Always remember, meiosis happens in 2 stages, but it is considered to be 1 meiosis only. At the end of 1 meiosis, you get 4 cells, 3 of them degenerate, 1 of them is a functional megaspore that you have. And this functional megaspore will become the embryo sac. In the embryo sac, my dear children, the nucleus which is there, it is going to undergo 4 rounds of mitotic division. Sorry, 3 rounds of mitotic division. Okay, how many rounds? 3 rounds of mitotic division. Once it divides, you get 2, then this divides, you get 4, then this divides, you get 8 nucleus at the ends. So basically 3 mitotic division and 1 meiotic division is there. 3 mitosis and 1 meiosis. 3 mitosis and 1 meiosis. So your answer becomes 4. Okay, now identify the statement that is not correct. Listen here, you have to be careful. So constant region of heavy and light chains are located at the C terminus of the antibody molecules. Yes, you have N terminal region and C terminal region. So constant region is towards the C terminal only. That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. Now each antibody has 2 light and heavy chains. Yes, H2L2. Right, the heavy and the light chains are held together by disulfide bonds. Yes, my dear children, they have disulfide bonds between them. Antigen binding site is located at the C terminal region of the antibody molecule. No, my dear children, as I told you, you have a variable region over here and a constant region over here, right? So this is the C terminal, this is the N terminal. So this antigen binding site, which is basically in the variable region, okay, it is found towards the N terminal, not the C terminal. So I will say 4 is the one that is wrong. This is the one that is wrong. Okay, now going ahead with the next thing that we have, consider the following, choose the correct answers from the given options. Okay, the reproductive division for human female gametogenesis starts earlier than that of the male gametogenesis. Yes, in females it starts in the fetal stage only, right? So A is correct. You have to find what is correct, right? So A is correct, my dear children. The gap between first meiotic division and the second meiotic division is much shorter for males compared to females. Yes. Is that correct or wrong? It is correct or wrong? It is correct. In the case of, for example, in the case of women, in the case of female, my dear children, the primary oocyte starts its division but is not completed until long time, my dear children, it has to reach puberty. So there is a huge gap. But in the case of males, it is really, really fast. First meiotic division, second meiotic division, it will be really, really fast. So I'll say both the statements are correct. Now, the first polar body is associated with the formation of primary oocyte. Wrong. The primary oocyte is going to divide and give first polar body and the secondary oocyte. So it is associated with the formation of secondary oocyte, not primary oocyte. Wrong. Luteinizing hormone surge leads to disintegration of endometrium and onset of menstrual bleeding. Wrong. Luteinizing hormone surge will lead to corpus luteum formation, basically ovulation and then corpus luteum formation, and this will maintain the endometrium. Why? Because corpus luteum releases progesterone. It is not responsible for disintegration. Surge is not responsible for disintegration. When the luteinizing hormone goes down, that's when it will be disintegrating, because there is no corpus luteum, there is no progesterone and things like that. So I'll say C and D and wrong. What are we left with? A and B. So A and B are true. Okay, so your answer would be 2. Now given below two statements, one is labelled as assertion, other is labelled as reason. Okay, cells of the tapeworm possess dense cytoplasm and generally have more than one nucleus. Absolutely correct, it has more than one nucleus, right? Now presence of more than one nucleus in the tapeworm increases the efficiency of nourishing the developing microspore mother cell, my dear children. First of all, do you think is the nucleus that will provide nourishment? It's the cytoplasm. So I'll say this is correct, this one will be false. Okay, A is true but the reason is false. 4. Your answer would be 4. Going ahead, the blue-white selectable markers have been developed to differentiate recombinant colonies from non-recombinant colonies on the basis of their ability to produce color in the presence of a chromogenic substance. Now you have two statements. What we have to find out? In the light of the above statement, choose the most appropriate answers. Okay, the blue-colored colonies have the DNA insert in the plasmid and they are identified as recombinant colonies. Wrong, my dear children. Blue color comes when the gene is coding for beta-galactosidase. Okay, and when you add the chromogenic substance, what happens? This beta-galactosidase would be acting on it and giving the blue color. So basically, if beta-galactosidase gene is there, that means I have not inserted anything. Suppose I have inserted something, then basically this gene is not there, hence the enzyme is not produced, hence the color formation would also be not there. So if the blue colored colonies have DNA insert in the plasmid and they are identified as recombinant colonies, this would be wrong. Okay, the blue ones are the ones that are non-recombinants. Now, the colonies without blue color have DNA insert in the plasmid and are identified as recombinant colonies. Yes. Without blue color means basically beta-galactosidase is not being produced. Why? Because I am putting my gene of interest over there. So, is this gene able to produce its own thing? No. So, your answer would be what? Your answer would be B is correct. Statement 2 is correct. Statement 1 is false. Yes, statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is what? Correct, as I said. Now, in bryophytes, the gamete help in which of the following? Gaseous exchange, sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction, nutrient absorption. Very easy question, right? It is asexual reproduction, my dear children. Your answer would be 3. Now, match list 1 with list 2. You have adenosine, adenylate acid, adenine and alanine. The easiest one is to find alanine. Alanine is what? An amino acid. So, D goes with 4, D goes with 4. Let's see what all options do we have like that. This and this. Okay, so I can exclude this and this option. Now, adenylate acid, always acid term comes when you're talking about nucleotide, my dear children, when you have a phosphate group as well. So, adenylate acid is basically a nucleotide. B goes with 2. B goes with 2. I have just one option and hence this becomes my answer. C goes with 1. Let's see. Adenine is a nitrogen base. Okay. Adenosine, it's a nucleoside. What do you mean by nucleoside? Sugar plus what? The nitrogenous base is known as nucleoside. Sugar plus the nitrogenous base plus the phosphate group will be known as a nucleotide. Okay, so your answer would be this goes with this goes with that, this goes with this, hence your answer would be 4. Okay, your answer would be 4. Now going ahead. With the help of the given pedigree, find out the probability of the birth of a child having no disease and being a carrier has the disease in the F3 generation. So, we have to find the ratio, we have to find the probability of having no disease and being a carrier. That is the thing. So, over here, what can you assume from this particular pedigree chart which is given over here? The female is affected, my dear children, but they gave birth to 2 females again, but they are just carriers. They are just carriers. So, I am assuming that this is a sex-linked recessive disorder because I am saying that it is skipping generation. It is skipping generation. Okay, when it skips generation, what is it? It is a recessive disorder. Okay, and why do I call it sex-linked? Because over here you see the females are mostly the carriers, but the males they are getting affected. The males they are getting affected. So here there are no parents which are affected, but here the child is affected. So you get it? This is a recessive disorder. This could be a sex-linked recessive disorder as well. So the condition over here might be probably both the alleles are affected over here. Both the alleles are affected over here. In this case, he is completely normal. Now, when you cross this, my dear children, for this female to be a carrier, it can be a condition like this where one is affected because this and this came together, right? This and this came together. Okay, from here you got this, from here you got this. Hence, she becomes a carrier. Similarly, here also she becomes a carrier. Okay, now they are marrying a guy. They are marrying a person over here. They are marrying a guy over here. Now, what is it? For example, it will be XY only. This and this fuses, my dear children. There are chances that this and this comes together. X affected and Y comes together. In that case, this guy would be having the disease because in the case of males, if one X is affected, that person would be having the disease, my dear children. So the condition is like this. So the condition is like this. Let's try to find out what is the condition over here. Since again a carrier is being mentioned, if she has to be a carrier, both the alleles cannot be like this. Only one allele has to be affected. So I'll say it is a condition like this. It is a condition like this. Now we have to fuse them and try to find the answer. So let's see. So you have, where should I write this? So you have AXHX, okay, and then ASHY. Suppose this and this comes together. Affected female, okay, affected female. This and this comes together. Affected male, because in males only one has to be affected and you will get the disease. This and this comes together. Carrier female. This and this comes together. A normal guy which is there. So if you are asked the probability of birth of a child having no disease, my dear children, it will be 2. 2 of them have no disease, okay, and having no disease would be 1, sorry. Having no disease and being a carrier is being asked, right? So, okay, we'll take this as 1. This child is the one who do not have any disease, okay. If you talk about being a carrier, there is only one who is being a carrier. So, I'll say it's 1 by 2. Your answer would be 3. You're not asked about the one who are affected, nothing. You're asked which is a child which have no disease. So, there is only one child. We could have categorized this also under that, but basically here you ask separately about carriers. Here you ask separately about carriers, so you'll take it separately. Okay, we will take it separately. So, basically I'll say, wait. With the help of it, find the probability of for the birth of a child having no disease and okay, now we are gonna fuse them. Let's see. So you have XHX and also XHY. Fuse this and this, you get an affected female, my dear children. Fuse this and this, you get XHY, again an affected male child. This and this, you get a carrier female. This and this, my dear children, you get a normal male. Now what are you being asked? You are asked find out the probability for the birth of a child having no disease and being a carrier in F3 generation. So out of 4, I see one is not having any disease, another one is a carrier. So basically 2 out of 4. If I do, it will be 1 by 2. Hence your answer would be 1 by 2. I hope this is how it is found out. Yes. Okay. Cool. Now going ahead. Consider the following statements regarding function of adrenal medullary hormones, my dear children. It causes pupillary constriction? No. It is a hyperglycemic hormone? Yes. It causes piloerection? Yes. It increases strength of the heart contraction? Yes. So I'll say B, C and D are correct. B, C and D are the only one which is correct. This one is not the correct statement. So your answer would be 3. Going ahead to the next question, which of the following is an example of zygomorphic flower? Zygomorphic means what? It is kind of bilaterally symmetrical. You can cut it only through one single plane. I mean, you can cut into equal halves only through one single plane. So what is the answer for this? Chili, petunia, datura or pea? The answer would be pea. If you have seen the pea flower, you might be knowing zygomorphic. Basically, you can cut only through one particular plane only, and peas flowers are just like that. So your answer becomes 4. Okay, your answer would be becoming 4. Going ahead, who proposed that the genetic code for amino acids should be made up of 3 nucleotides? A very easy question. It was George Gamow who was the one who said that it has to be in a combination of 3. So it was George Gamow. Your answer would be 2. Going ahead to the next question, given below are 2 statements. In an ecosystem, there is unidirectional flow of energy of sun from producers to consumers. Yes, there is a unidirectional flow. Can the energy come back again? No. My dear, sun is the energy source, right? So from here only things are going to go upwards. Okay. Now ecosystem are exempted from the second law of thermodynamics. Do you think ecosystem is exempted from the second law of thermodynamics? It says that energy flow, it is not always perfect. Heat is being released. Okay, and basically it increases the entropy of the atmosphere. So it follows, it definitely follows. Ecosystem, my dear children, definitely follows the second law of thermodynamics. So this statement would be wrong where it says that it is exempted from second law of thermodynamics. Because yes, entropy is increased because any energy transfer, it is not perfect. There will be loss of some energy and it increases the entropy. So basically 1 is correct, but the second statement would be incorrect. Okay, now sweet, so answer would be 4, my dear children. Now next, sweet potato and potato represent a certain type of evolution. Select the correct combination of terms to explain the evolution. So sweet potato and potato, my dear children, they are showing convergent evolution. They are converging to a point. Why they are converging to a point? Because both of them are storing things. So their function is same. But if we talk about evolutionary setup, my dear children, sweet potato comes from the root. It's a root modification. Potato is a stem modification. Okay, so anatomically they are not similar structure. They are not evolved from a similar structure, which is why I call them analogous organs. Okay, I'll call them analogous organs, and the analogous organs show convergent evolution. Always remember A, C and HD. Homologous organ and divergent evolution, and analogous organs and convergent evolution. So I'll say analogy and convergence. So this is the thing. 2 2 becomes your answer. Going ahead with the next question. All living members of the class Cyclostomata are, Cyclostomata, that means they have circular mouth and they do not have jaws, my dear children. Their teeth are like this. If you have seen Myxin, Petromycin, things like that. So all of them, all the living members of this class Cyclostomata are what? Are ectoparasites. They remain as ectoparasite outside the body of the organism and they suck all the things out there. Yeah, they're not free living, they're not endoparasite, they're not symbiotic. The answer is ectoparasite. Okay, going ahead, histones are enriched with. Histones, my dear children, what are they used for? For wrapping around the DNA. DNA was negatively charged, which is why histone should be what? Positively charged. How is it positively charged? Because it has positively charged amino acids such as lysine and arginine. Such as what? Lysine and arginine. So your answer becomes 2. Your answer would be becoming 2. Okay, going ahead to the next question. Which of the following equations represents the world's per logistic growth of population? Logistic growth of population, where you're talking about that basically the growth happens but only to a certain limit because the resources are limited, my dear children. So here you will be taking carrying capacity. Every ecosystem would be having a carrying capacity, it cannot go beyond that. So your equation will be dn by dt, that is the population change, is equals to Rn k minus n divided by k. Okay, so over here, there just for confusing you, it seems so similar, but there is no n over here. There is no n over here. So your answer becomes 3. Your answer would be 3. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, because there is R and N and K minus N divided by K. Now, going ahead to the next thing. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other is labeled as reason. Assertion says, the primary function of the Golgi apparatus is to package the materials made by the endoplasmic reticulum delivered to intracellular targets and outside the cell. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, that is correct. Now, vesicles containing materials made from the endoplasmic reticulum fuse with the cis phase. There is cis phase and there is trans phase. So, yes, they are going to fuse with the cis phase and basically they are going to release from the trans phase. They are going to get released from the trans phase. So, I will say both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A as well. Okay? Okay. Chalo, 2 is the answer. Now, which of the following statement about Rubisco is true? Okay, what is true? It catalyzes the carboxylation of RUBP. Yes, it does. It is active only in the dark? No, my dear children, it's not like that. Okay, it can happen in daytime, it can be working at night time, things like that. Okay, it is just a part of dark cycle because dark reaction. Why? Because we say that it does not necessarily need light for this particular reaction to happen. That is the reason. It's not like it can only happen in dark. So this is wrong. Now, it has higher affinity for oxygen than carbon dioxide. Wrong. It has actually more affinity to carbon dioxide. But when there is too less amount of carbon dioxide and there is presence of oxygen, it will bind to it. So that is wrong. It is an enzyme involved in photolysis of water. My dear children, for photolysis of water, you do not need Rubisco. So your only correct statement over here is 1. Your only correct statement over here is 1. Okay, going ahead with the next thing. Progesterone, relaxin, melanocyte stimulating hormone, catecholamines. The most easiest one to spot will be relaxin. Okay, relaxin is released by the ovary during later phase of pregnancy. So I'll say B goes with 2. I'll say B goes with 2. And also progesterone is being released by the corpus luteum. You know all that, right? Corpus luteum is the one that releases progesterone and this progesterone is the one that maintains the endometrium. So I'll say A goes with 4. A goes with 4. I have 2 options like that. So I can cut all these options, right? And now B goes with 2. B goes with 2. I have 2 options like that as well. Now talking about catecholamines. Catecholamines, my dear children, where are they released from? Where are they released from? They are going to be released from the adrenal medulla. So C goes with 3. I have one option like that. This becomes my answer. And D, melanocyte stimulating hormone is basically released from pars intermedia. Okay, it is released from pars intermedia. You have pars distalis, pars this, pars that. You have pars intermedia that releases melanocyte stimulating hormone as well. So your answer is 3. Ayo. Wait. Just a second. Did I do something wrong? C goes with 1. Okay, I just told the correct option, but I marked it differently. I'm so sorry. Okay, A goes with 4. A goes with 4. B goes with 2. Melanocyte stimulating hormone goes with 1. And D goes with 3. Yes, this is your answer. Okay? Chalo. Sorry, Shaktiman. Now, the protein portion of an enzyme is known as, the protein portion, the actual portion of the enzyme which does the enzymatic work, it is known as apoenzyme, my dear children. There might be so many things attached to it, they are known as cofactors. Okay, it can be a prosthetic group, it can be a coenzyme, it can be metallic ions, a lot of things. But the actual enzyme with the protein portion would be known as what? Apoenzyme. So, your answer would be 4. Okay. Now, which of the following enzyme are not essential for gene cloning? Restriction enzyme, we need it. DNA ligase, they join different 2 type of recombinant DNA, right? DNA mutase, you do not need that. So I'll say C is something that we do not need. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Okay, now DNA recombinase, again we did not need that because there is no point of recombination. We are just putting it there. There is restriction enzymes for doing all the work and DNA ligase for joining it. So there is no need for that. And DNA polymerase, yes, we need that. Okay, we need for the replication and stuff like that. So I'll say this is wrong. C and D is something that we are not needing. So your answer would be 2. So your answer would be 2. Going ahead with the next question. Which of the following type of immunity is present at the time of birth and is non-specific type of immunity defense in the human body? What is specifically present from birth in our innate immunity, my dear children? It is innate immunity. Okay, and it is non-specific. Why? Because it is going to act similarly on everything. For example, your skin is a part of innate immunity. Does it say that bacteria you can come in, virus you cannot? Basically, it is going to act like a barrier for everything. It is non-specific. It is not specifically going to act on something differently. Okay, so always remember that. So it is innate immunity. Your answer will be 3. Your answer will be 3. My dear children, I hope you're enjoying the session as well as in you're finding the correct answers. If you think so that you're liking it, please not forget to like and also share and also subscribe the channel, because this channel is going to bring out a lot of things for you in future, my dear children. So make sure you're subscribing and getting to know a lot about it. Yes. Now, which factor is responsible for termination of transcription? I always say during termination it is crying. So rho factor. Okay, rho factor is there, that is represented by this. Rho factor is the one that helps in termination of transcription. Okay, now going ahead with the next thing. Which of the following hormones released from the pituitary is actually synthesized in the hypothalamus? In the hypothalamus, is it adrenocorticotropin hormone, ACTH? No. Is it luteinizing hormone? No. Is it antidiuretic hormone? Yes. Okay, antidiuretic hormone ADH is something that is released, actually synthesized in the hypothalamus. Okay, but stored in the pituitary. So always remember that. So that is the posterior pituitary that stores it. That is something also that you can remember. So antidiuretic hormone is something out. Follicle stimulating hormone is all being produced by the pituitary gland, that is anterior pituitary gland. So over here this is the guy which is odd one out. So your answer would be B. Going ahead with the next thing. Which of the following microbes is not involved in the preparation of household products? Okay, household products. Now that is kind of confusing, but still, yes. Aspergillus niger, it is there for citric acid production. Lactobacillus is for lactic acid. So lactic acid, you need it, definitely, yes. And that is in the curd and things like that. You need the lactobacillus. Trichoderma polysporum is there for production of cyclosporin A, which is basically what? Which is an immunosuppressive agent. Right. So do you need that over here? No. So I'll say C is not something that I need. Saccharomyces cerevisiae yeast, I need it. Propionibacterium shermani, that is also for cheese production and stuff like that. So but basically the holes are there in cheese. So yeah, this is there for cheese production. So can I say it is Aspergillus niger and Trichoderma polysporum? Since you have to choose. You have to choose any two. I'll choose this thing. A and C. A and C. But citric acid can be used in household products also for cleaning and disinfecting things and a lot of other things. But since I have to choose, I have one option to choose, and that would be A and C. So A and C would be 3. Okay. Going ahead. Fig fruit is non-vegetarian fruit as it has enclosed fig wasp in it. Now that is a topic, little confusing thing, but yes. So fig fruit is a non-vegetarian fruit as it has enclosed fig wasp in it. So you know wasp comes and lays egg in it, and sometimes what happens, my dear children, is that the wasp is not able to move out. Okay, because of pollination and everything that is happening in the fig and things like that, it won't be able to move out, and basically there's a enzyme physin being released, which is why which is released by this particular fig, and that kind of digests the organism which is in there, which is why probably it can be considered as a non-vegetarian fruit. Okay, it can be considered as a non-vegetarian fruit. So that would be partially correct, yeah. Now fig wasp and fig tree exhibit mutual relationship as fig wasp completes its life cycle in the fig fruit and fig fruit gets pollinated by the fig wasp. That is also correct. So I'll say both the statement 1 and 2 is correct. I know there are so many questions lingering around it, but yes, that is how we can explain the answer. So both 1 and statement 2 are correct. Okay, we'll wait for the answer keys, but still, yes. Now, the role of water vascular system in echinoderms. Now, in NCERT is clearly written. What is it for? Echinoderms, water vascular system is for respiration, locomotion, capture of food, and also transport of food. Okay, respiration and locomotion, capture and transport of food. Not excretion and locomotion. Excretion is not been mentioned. Digestion is not been mentioned. So basically, your answer would be what? Your answer would be A and C. A and C. You have 3 as an option. Okay. Now, After maturation in primary lymphoid organs, the lymphocytes migrate for interaction with antigens to secondary lymphoid organs and tissues like. So my dear children, what are the secondary lymphoid organs that you have? Primary lymphoid organs are what? Primary lymphoid organs are thymus and also bone marrow. Secondary lymphoid organs would be what? Secondary lymphoid organs would be spleen, would be lymph node, would be Peyer's patch, would be tonsils and things like that. So can I say, so over here, this and this are primary ones. Okay, secondary ones are these three of them. These are all secondary lymphoid organs. So C, D, N, E. C, D, N, E, I just have one option like that. So 1 is your answer. Okay, going ahead to the next thing. Match list 1 with list 2. Evil quartet, X2 conservation, lantana camera, dodo. Okay, the evil quartet means you're talking about causes of biodiversity losses. Okay, you have 4 reasons: habitat loss and fragmentation, alien species invasion, and overexploitation and co-extension, right? So 4 of them, evil quartet as in 4. So they are the reasons for biodiversity loss. Now X2 conservation, conservation outside their original habitat, my dear children. Cryopreservation is an example of that. Lantana camera, it is a invasive species that came through. So alien species invasion. Now dodo is something related to extinction. Yeah, dodo is from Mauritius and got extinct according to IUCN list. So I'll say A goes with 3, A goes with 3. Okay, I have 3 options. Okay, all the options are like that. Let's go ahead. B goes with 1, B goes with 1. I just have one option, which is why this becomes my answer. Okay, now next. Read the following statement on plant growth and development. Parthenocarpy can be induced by auxins. Yes, parthenocarpy is basically when the ovary turns into a fruit, and it can be induced by auxin. That is absolutely correct. Now, plant growth regulators can be involved in promotion as well as inhibition of growth. Yes, there are growth inhibitors, there are growth promoters. Auxin and gibberellin are growth inhibitors. Rest of them, cytokinin also growth promoter. Auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin are growth promoters. Ethylene as well as, what do you call it as, abscisic acid, they are growth inhibitors. Ethylene can act as both as well. Okay, remember that. Now, dedifferentiation is a prerequisite for redifferentiation. Yes, for example, a differentiated cell is there. It undergoes dedifferentiation, it becomes immature. Yeah. Now, then only it can become redifferentiated, then only it can differentiate back. So, obviously, dedifferentiated is necessary for redifferentiation to occur. So, I will say until now A, B and C, everything is correct. Going ahead, abscisic acid is a plant growth promoter. Wrong, it's a growth inhibitor. Apical dominance promotes the growth of lateral buds. No, apical dominance means apex is dominance. You do not want lateral buds, lateral branches to be formed. Okay, that is the thing. So it's the opposite of it. Apical dominance inhibits the growth of lateral buds. So I'll say A, B and C are the only one that are correct. So your answer becomes 2. Okay, next question. Match list 1 with list 2. Pteridophytes, bryophytes, angiosperm and gymnosperms. You are given little things. So over here, the yes, the easiest ones to find out is basically gymnosperm. Gymnosperm goes with 2. Okay, that is the gymnosperms. D goes with 2. D goes with 2. I just have 2 options like that. So I will cut these options. Now, going ahead, you have pteridophytes. Pteridophytes, you know, your example is salvinia, and a name similar to it comes in angiosperms, that is salvia. Bryophytes goes with 2. Okay, sorry, biophytes goes with 2. Oh my god, just a second. Biophytes goes with polytrichum. Wait. Okay, so hence your answer would be A goes with 4, A goes with 4. Okay, B goes with 3, B goes with 3, C goes with, C is angiosperm, angiosperm goes with salvia, C goes with 1, and gymnosperm goes with ginkgos. So over here your answer would be this 3. Okay. Now, why can't insulin be given orally to diabetic patient? Insulin is what? A peptide hormone, my dear children. Now, suppose it is taken in. What happens? Basically, in our stomach, what is there? There are pepsin and things like that which will be breaking down the peptide hormones. Do we need that? Do we want that to be digested and go away just like that? No, it has to do its action, right? So, that is the reason. So, its bioavailability will be increased. No, human body will elicit strong immune response. No, Baba. It will be digested in the gastrointestinal tract. Yes, this is the thing. Because of structural variation, no. The only thing why it cannot be given orally is that it can be digested by the, it will be digested by the gastrointestinal tract. Okay, so your answer will be 3. Now, which one of the following is the characteristic feature of gymnosperm? Gymnosperms have flowers for reproduction? No, Baba. Okay, they do not have flowers. The first flowering plants are angiosperms. Seeds are enclosed in fruits? No. Gymnosperms with naked seeds. Okay, so seeds are naked, that is the thing. So 3 is your answer. Seeds are absent, that is false. So 3 is the thing. It's the easiest question. Seeds are what? Naked. So 3 is your answer. Going ahead, frogs respire in water by skin and buccal cavity, and on land by skin, buccal cavity and lungs. Choose the correct answer. My dear children, frogs respire in water by skin. I won't say it's buccal cavity. Okay, it would be respiring through skin, and on land it can respire through skin, buccal cavity and lungs. That is there. So this thing makes it wrong. So the statement is false for both the environment. Statement is true for water. Statement is true for both. Statement is false for water. Yes, but it is true for land. So D is the answer. That is 4. Sorry, not D. It is 4. Now, silencing a specific mRNA is possible via RNA interference because of what? How is it silenced, my dear children? The mRNA which is there, you basically bring out a complementary double-stranded RNA. You bring out what? Complementary double-stranded RNA. From this double-stranded RNA, one RNA will be coming and complementary binding to this mRNA, silencing it. Okay, this mRNA won't be able to undergo translation because it is now double-stranded. So, initially who comes in? It is a complementary double-stranded RNA. From that, one guy comes in and forms complementary band over here. Okay, so always remember that. It is not single-stranded RNA. Non-complementary ssRNA, no. Complementary double-stranded RNA, yes. Inhibitory ssRNA, no. Complementary tRNA, no. Your answer would be 2. Complementary double-stranded RNA. Okay, now going ahead. Twins are born to a family that lives next door to you. Okay, the twins are a boy and a girl. Which of the following must be true? For a girl and a boy to be formed, my dear children, suppose there is egg being released from the mother. Okay, and this egg will always have X chromosome. The Y chromosome that comes in, suppose it has X chromosome. X and X comes together, the zygote will be having XX, that means a female. Now this zygote divide into 2 and basically suppose it is forming 2 separate organisms. So then both of them should be girls. Both of them should be girls. Now over here, and they are known as twins, and they are known as monozygotic twins. They are known as monozygotic twins. Why? Because one zygote divides into 2 and that's how they develop. Now, if you want 2 sexes, my dear children, obviously 2 sperms have to come. 2 sperms have to come, and these 2 sperms have to fuse with 2 separate eggs as well. So X and Y sperm comes, one fuses with this egg, another fuses with this egg, and that's how you get 2 organisms which are boy and a girl. Okay, so they have 75% identical genetic content? No. They are monozygotic? No. They are fraternal twins. This type of twins are known as fraternal twins. They are not made up of one zygote but of 2 different zygotes, okay, which was formed with the fusion of 2 different sperms and eggs. Always remember. So they are fraternal twins. They were conceived through in vitro fertilization? No. Your answer is just 3. Okay. Now next question. Scutellum, non-albuminous seed, epiblast and perisperm. Scutellum is what, my dear children? It is the only cotyledon in the case of monocots. So cotyledon of monocot seed, so I'll say A goes with 2, A goes with 2, I have 2 options like that. So this and this cuts off. Okay. Now non-albuminous seed, my dear children. Non-albuminous seed means their endosperm is not left. Okay, it has made cotyledon out of it. There is no endosperm left behind. So that's non-albuminous, and that is groundnut. Wherever you can break into 2 cotyledons or 2 things, that is known as dicots, my dear children. Dicots are they are non-albuminous. So B goes with 3. B goes with 3. I have just one option, and this becomes my answer. Okay, let's go ahead. Epiblast, it can be considered as a rudimentary cotyledon that is not formed completely. It is found in monocots. Now perisperm, which is there, it is the persistent nucellus, and this persistent nucellus provides nourishment to the growing embryo in beet and black pepper. So your answer would become this. So I think everything is correct according to it. Yes. Now next question. In frog, the renal portal system is a special venous connection that acts to link renal, as in you're talking about kidney, and kidney and what? The lower limbs, my dear children, the lower part of the body. Okay, that is the use of renal portal system. Just like how you have hepatic portal system, you have renal portal system also, and that is between kidney and the lower part of the body, not between liver and intestine, not between kidney and the intestine, not between liver and the kidney. It is just kidney and the lower part of the body. So your answer becomes 1. Now 135th question. Okay, you have heart, you have kidney, gastrointestinal tract and adrenal cortex. Let's see. So heart, my dear children, erythropoietin, aldosterone, atrial, natriuretic factor or secretin. Now atrial term is there, so obviously even if you do not know the function of it, probably heart would be linked with that. Okay, now that is there. Atrial natriuretic factor is there actually for decreasing down the blood pressure and things like that. Okay, so it allows this particular factor when it is being released, basically it allows the it allows the excretion of sodium ions and stuff like that, and also a little amount of water, so the blood pressure it reduces out. Okay, so basically heart goes with that. Kidney, my dear children, it is very famous for production of a hormone that is known as erythropoietin, that is responsible for production of RBCs. So B goes with 1. B goes with 1. Now gastrointestinal tract, my dear children, it will be going with secretin. Secretin is a thing that is being released. Why? Because the food that is coming from the stomach, it is very acidic and you want to make it basic, so you need the production of bicarbonate ions, and secretin helps in that. Okay, it tells the pancreas that you have to release bicarbonate ions and things like that. Okay, now adrenal cortex, which is there, it is there responsible for production of aldosterone. So A goes with 3, B goes with 1, A goes with 3, B goes with 1. Your answer is this 1. Okay, now next, cardiac activities of the hearts are regulated by, you have what? Nodal tissue, AV node, SV node and things like that, SA node. Now special neural center in the medulla oblongata, which is why we say we should not be hitting on medulla oblongata, people will get killed, because there is a special neural center, okay, which is responsible for all this cardiac activity and stuff like that. Adrenal medullary hormones, my dear children, yes. Adrenal cortical hormones, no. It's just a medullary hormone. So I'll say A, B and C. So I'll say A, B and C is your answer. 2 is your answer. Okay. Next. So with that, we complete 45 questions, my dear children. We are left with another 45 questions. I hope you are finding your answers to be correct. If you are not, please, as I said, do not be worried. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, let's hope for the best. Hopefully this time the cutoff also would be greatly reduced, because the paper was difficult for physics, right? So we can linger on to that, but if at all you feel that okay, it wasn't well, then we should be going ahead with the next NEET, and for that you have to prepare really well. Start off really quick. Okay, take a break. That is also very much important, because you need the support, your mental support, right? So basically take a little break and go ahead this time with more conviction that yes, I am going to do it. Okay, and my dear children, if you have any other options also, please explore other options also. But if you are strictly into NEET, then please go for NEET. If not, then go for the other options as well. Think about that. Okay, and please do not lose your hope, as I always say, and we will be there this time with you. So as we have helped lots and lots of case students as well as common case students, we are helping them out now. We are definitely here to help you out as well, and for that we expect a lot of support from you guys. So keep supporting us by subscribing, by sharing this video with your friends, by liking the video, and all the small gestures that you can possibly do. Okay, so that's all, and I hope I'm explaining little well to you so that you understand where you're getting things wrong as well. I might be quick because I don't want to waste any bit of your time. Yeah. Now, streptokinase produced by bacterium Streptococcus is used for. Streptokinase, my dear, is this clot buster. It bursts down the clots. So I'll say removing clots from the blood vessels. Is it for curd production? No. Is it for ethanol production? No. Liver disease treatment? No. So your only answer becomes 1. Okay, now, who is known as the father of ecology in India? It was Ramdev Misra. Okay, it was Ramdev Misra who is known as the father of ecology in India. So your answer becomes 3. Now, next thing, given below are 2 statements. One is labeled as assertion, other is labeled as reason. Assertion says, a typical unfertilized angiosperm embryo sac at maturity is 8 nucleate and 7 celled. Is it 8 nucleate and 7 celled, my dear children? Yes, it is. Okay, why do I say so? Suppose this is the embryo sac. You have 3 cells that are the antipodal cells. Okay, you have 2 cells that are the synergid cell, 1 cell that is the egg cell, and 2 polar nuclei. So how many nucleus is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 nucleus is there, but basically how many cells are there? This 2 nuclei, it is not surround, it is basically over here in one particular cell, and that is known as central cell. So I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this whole thing is the 7th cell. So 8 nucleate and 7 cells. That is correct. Now the egg apparatus has 2 polar nuclei. Wrong. Egg apparatus means you're talking about 2 synergids and the egg. Does it have the 2 polar nuclei? No. Central cell is the one. This is the central cell, and this is the one that has 2 polar nuclei. This 2 nuclei that you see are polar nuclei. So it is wrong when you say that egg apparatus has 2 polar nuclei. So assertion is correct, reason is false. Okay, so your answer is 4. Now, neoplastic characteristics of cells refers to, neoplastic means new, plastic means changes. Okay, so basically what do you mean, where do you see that? In cancerous cells. So the characteristics refers to what? A mass of proliferating cell? Yes. Rapid growth of cells? Yes. Invasion and damage to surrounding tissue? Yes. These are all features of cancerous cells. Those confined to original location? No. Okay, they cannot never be confined to original location, they will be moving on everywhere. So I'll say A, B and C are correct. A, B and C are the only ones that are correct. Okay, next, given below the stages in the life cycle of pteridophytes, arrange the following stages in the correct sequence. Okay, prothallus stage, meiosis and spore, mother cell, fertilization, formation of archegonia and antheridian gametophyte, transfer of antherozoites to archegonia in the presence of water. First is, you need meiosis in the spore mother cell, yeah, they will do meiosis, and then basically after spores are being formed, they will be fusing to form the gametophyte, that is prothallus stage, my dear children. So B, then A, yeah, and after that what will happen? They have formed the gametophyte, now they will form the sex organs. Okay, the formation of archegonia and antheridia and gametophyte, those are the sex organs. So first is this. Okay, the first one would be this, second one would be this, and third one would be this, and then what will happen? Transfer of antherozoites to the archegonia in the presence of water, that is there, yeah, and after they are transferred, they will be fertilizing. So this is the fifth one. So I will say B, A, B and A, and then D, and then E, and then C. B, A, D, E, and C. Yes, this is the answer. Your answer is 2. Okay, chalo. Next thing. Given below are two statements, one is labelled as assertion, other is labelled as reason. Okay, assertion says, both wind and water pollinated flowers are not very colourful and do not produce nectar. Correct. There is no production of nectar because there is no insect pollination right there. So obviously yes, and they do not have to be colourful as well. Now the flowers produce enormous amount of pollen grains in wind and water pollinated flowers. Is it? Is it? Yes, my dear children, because there the chance of pollination is really less, which is why there is lots and lots of release of what? Pollen grains. Okay, but do you think this and this explain each other? No, reason does not explain that, but I'll say A and B or A and R statement are correct. Okay, so A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation. So your answer becomes 3. Cool. Next thing, which one of the following enzymes contains heme prosthetic group? Easy. Catalase, ribosco, carbonic anhydrase or succinate dehydrogenase. Your answer is catalase. Catalase is the one that would be having heme as a prosthetic group. Okay. Now, match list 1 with list 2. Emphysema. Emphysema, my dear children, it is a respiratory disorder where what happens, your alveolar cells, okay, the alveolar membrane, everything is being damaged, which is why a proper division and everything is not expected over there. So emphysema goes with damaged alveolar walls and decreased respiratory surface. That is one thing that I can be pretty sure about. Okay, angina means basically there is an acute pain, chest pain over here. Yeah, and glomerulonephritis, basically it has to do something with the kidneys, so inflammation of the glomeruli of the kidney. Tetani or muscular tetani, basically it is rapid spasm in the muscle cells due to what? Low calcium in the body fluid. Okay, so A goes with 2, A goes with 2, I have 2 options like that. B goes with 3, B goes with 3, I have 1 option like that, hence this becomes my answer. Cool. Next one. Find the statement that is not correct with regard to structure of monocot stem. Phloem parenchyma is absent. Wrong. Hypodermis is parenchymatous. No, it is mostly sclerenchymatous. Right? So that is the wrong statement. So this is correct. Okay, what is not correct is being asked. This is something that is not correct. Hypodermis is parenchymatous. It is sclerenchymatous. Vascular bundles are scattered. It is correct. Vascular bundles are conjoined and closed. Correct. Yes. Yes. What is not correct in respect to monocot stem will be 2. Okay, so this is the thing that I was talking about. We are launching a NEET long-term program, my dear children, exclusively for children who think that their exam have not went and they are wanting to get into medical colleges only. They do not have any other option. They are not looking for anything else. They are very straightforwardly thinking about NEET, which is going to go in the next year. My dear children, whenever I say that, okay, you know that your exam didn't go well, now you have to make a decision whether you have to continue going for it or you have to go for something else. Okay, and if you are strong-headed regarding NEET, then I'll suggest you that take a time gap, okay, a little break that you want, and then please start off ahead with your next preparation, because that chance should be your last chance. You should be getting into your dream college with that, and we are here to help you with that. That's why we are launching a NEET long-term course, my dear children. The good thing about it is it's a 9-month residential program and it is crafted by the expert faculties out there. I'm telling you, these faculties are really experts because they have a legacy of producing so many champions out there. Okay, it's not just 1 or 2, but so many. If you always while making a decision, you should be going to the official website, checking out all the information whether what we are saying is true or not. So you can do your research, but this is what I feel and what I felt. I just told you. Yes, and here you would be having full NEET syllabus coverage in 7 months, and it would be followed by mock test, my dear children, which is why the total duration is 9 months. Now if you think that I want to inquire about this, I want to know more about this, I know my paper didn't well, I want to give it a try, okay, then please link will be there in the description section. You can click on that and fill in all the important needs over here and click on the inquire button. If you need, you can note down the number as well. Okay, now going ahead, what is this course going to offer you guys? So expert NEET faculties are going to be there. There is proven results, we are talking about that, yeah, and there is personalized mentorship. There will be weekly one-on-one session customized for long-term NEET training students only. Okay, so if you are a part of it, you will get it. Now doubt resolution, because the there would be round the clock academic support for uninterrupted preparation, my dear children. All your doubts would be resolved, that is for sure. Yeah, no doubts are going to be staying there here. Yeah, if there will be intensive daily practice and complete syllabus coverage, we assure that. There will be real NEET pattern testing so that you get to know about your time and accuracy as well, your speed and accuracy, and guaranteed school boost. There will be scholarship, that is one very important thing. There will be scholarship on the basis of your NEET marks. Okay, every applicant get a scholarship based on NEET marks multiplied by, let's say, rupees 100. Now going ahead, it's a fully residential coaching. That means you're gonna get full attention. Okay, there is no chance of not getting attention. You'll get full attention, and also you'll get the comprehensive study materials, and also there will be mentor parent connect, so that none of the information is being missed out between you and your parents, and everything is being sorted out properly. Okay, so I hope you take the utilization of this. At least go once, check out the website. It will be really helpful for you guys. And now let's begin the paper discussion. Okay, next 146th question. Which of the following statement is correct about location of the male frog copulatory pad? In male frog there is copulatory pad, my dear children. Where is it? In the first digit of the forelimb. First digit of the forelimb. Hence your answer becomes 1. Not the first and second digit, not the first digit of hind limb, not the second digit of forelimb. It is first digit of forelimb, 1. Now, given below are two statements. The primary source of energy in an ecosystem is solar energy. Agreed? Everyone agrees that. Do you have any other source of energy? No, Baba. There is only one source. Yeah. Now, the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis in an ecosystem is called net primary productivity. The rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis, my dear children. It is the plants that produces it, the primary production. Yeah. What do you call this? What do you call this type of productivity? Gross primary productivity. You call this as gross primary productivity. Gross primary productivity minus respiratory losses would be net primary productivity. The available thing, okay, the amount that is available for the other organism to use, that would be net primary productivity. Okay, so basically this would be wrong. Rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis in an ecosystem is actually called as primary productivity. In primary productivity also, it will be mostly gross primary productivity. Okay, so I'll say this is wrong. So this statement is correct, this statement is false. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Next, identify the part of the bioreactor which is used as a foam breaker. My dear children, foam breaker is always over here. Okay, it is C. It is C. This is the motor, and this would be the impeller which is there. D would be the air, sterile air conductor thing. Okay, so it is C. C is the foam breaker. 1. It does not allow foam to be formed over there. Now, polymerase chain reaction amplifies DNA following the equation 2 raised to the power n. Yeah, it will be 2 raised to the power n. How many times amplification goes on? It will be represented by n. Okay, so basically I will say polymerase chain reaction amplifies DNA following the equation 2 raised to the power n, that is 3. Next, match list 1 with list 2. We are talking about sperm. So what is there in the head, my dear children? In the head you will finding the genetic material. You will finding the genetic material, right? Now middle piece is because they have mitochondria, it is for energy. Acrosome which is there, acrosome has the enzymes, yeah, the hydrolytic enzymes, the sperm lysins which is there for breaking down everything, the membranes around the egg. So acrosome go with the enzymes, and tail is for sperm motility. It's an easy question. So head goes with this, middle goes with this goes with this, and this goes with this. So A goes with 4. I have two options like that. Okay, B middle piece goes with 3. Okay, and then acrosome goes with 1. Yes, this is the answer. 2 is your answer. Okay, yes. Next, in a floral formula, cross like this, a circular cross stands for zygomorphic nature of flower, and G, okay, if you're not able to see, I'll show like this. Do you think this stands for zygomorphic flowers? Wrong. This is for actinomorphic flowers, my dear children. And do you think this is for inferior ovary? No, this means ovary is superior. Ovary gynoecium is what? Superior, my dear children. So this is wrong. In a floral formula, this stands for zygomorphic nature of plants, and this stands for inferior ovary. That would be wrong. In a floral formula, this stands for actinomorphic nature, and this stands for superior ovary. That is correct. Statement 1 is incorrect, statement 2 is correct. Okay. Now, going ahead. From the statements given below, choose the correct option. The eukaryotic ribosomes are 80S and the prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S. Correct. Each ribosome has 2 subunits. Entirely correct. Yeah. The 2 subunits of 80S are 60S and 40S, while that of 70S are 50S and 30S. That is also correct. All of them are correct. 2 subunits, 80s are 60s and 20s, wrong. You do not have to calculate 60 plus 20 is equals to 80. No, 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 that's wrong. Okay, always remember 80s subunit means you're dividing into 2 subunits, 60 and 40. 70 means you're dividing into 2 subunits, 50 and 30. Okay, now the 2 subunits of 80s are 60s and 30s, and that of 70s are 50s and 30s, wrong. So I'll say A, B, C are correct. A, B, C, A, 2. Okay. Next question. Which of the following characteristics represent a kingdom proposed by Whittaker? Arrange the following in the increasing order of complexity of body organization. So with that we have to read the options, right? Multicellular heterotrophs with cell wall made up of chitin, heterotrophs with tissues, organ system, that is way too much complex, right? Prokaryotes with cell wall made up of polysaccharides and amino acid, eukaryotic autotrophs, eukaryote with cellular body organization. Okay, so prokaryotes being the simpler one, C is the first thing that you have. I just have 2 options like that. So let's see. So I will be cancelling these 2 options. We have to go according in the increasing order of complexity, right? So first comes prokaryote C, and then comes in eukaryotes, multicellular, no, heterotrophs with organ, no, eukaryotes with cellular body of organization. This is the second one, 1 and 2. Okay, now cells have come. After cell has come, my dear children, it can be multicellular heterotrophs with cell wall made up of chitin. Why not this? Because here tissue and organ system, organ level of organisms have been formed. So I'll say this is 3. Yeah, and then comes eukaryotic autotrophs. First come auto comes, then come heterotrophs, right? Eukaryotic autotrophs with tissue organ level of organization, so this will be 4, and the one with tissue organ and organ system level of organization would be 5. So 1 is C, then E, then A, C, E, A, and then DB, C, E, A, DB. C, E, A, DB. Your answer would be this, yes. 3. Okay. Next, the correct sequence of events in the life cycle of bryophytes is fusion of antherozoid with the egg, attachment of gametophyte to substratum, reduction division to produce haploid spores, and formation of sporophyte, release of antherozoid into the water. So let's find out. Over here, attachment of gametophyte to the substratum will be the first thing that is happening. Okay. B, and then there will be release of antherozoid into the water because fertilization happens in the water only. Yes, and then fusion of antherozoid with the egg. Correct? It's fused with the egg. Now what is going to happen? Formation of sporophyte are going to happen. Sporophyte is going to form. Reduction division to produce haploid spores. That is the thing. So there's a difference between pteridophytes and biophytes. Please remember that. So first thing that you get is what? This. Okay. Second thing that you get is what? This. And then you have this, and then you have this, and then you have this. Okay, in that case, your answer would be 4. Cool? Yes. Next one. Computer tomography and magnetic resonance imaging detect cancers of internal organs. Correct. Okay. Chemotherapeutic drugs are used to kill non-cancerous cells. Arey Baba, why do you kill non-cancerous cells? You have to kill cancerous cells, no? So this is wrong. This particular statement would be wrong. We have to find what is correct. So alpha interferons activate the cancer patient's immune system and helps in destroying the tumor. I'll say it is a response modifier. It does not help in destroying the tumor. Okay, it activates the cancer patient's immune system and helps in destroying the tumor. Yeah, oh sorry, it helps in destroying the tumor. So, oh my god, again it has went. Okay, children, yes, it helps in destroying the tumor because it is a response modifier. So, immune system would be active and it will be killing the tumor cells. That is correct. Sorry. Chemotherapeutic drugs are biological response modifiers. Wrong. Biological response modifiers are interferons. Chemotherapeutic drugs are specifically for killing the cancerous cells. So, I will say this is wrong. In the case of leukemia, blood cells counts are decreased. No, Baba. White blood cells counts increases. So, this is also false. So, what are we left with? What is correct? A and C. A and C are correct. A and C, yes. Okay, fine. Next, name the class of enzyme that usually catalyzes the following reaction. Let's see. So, SG is together and then there is S with a group over here. Then we see that S and there is SG. Over here, what is the thing that you can find is that initially this particular S, which did not have a group over there, right, okay, which was not marked by this particular thing, was having a group. Now, this particular group have transferred to this particular guy. This particular group G has been transferred to this particular S. So can I say there's a transfer, let's say action of transferase enzyme acting over there? Yes. So G is what? A group of another, a group other than the hydrogen. S is a substrate, and S hash is what? Another substrate. So over here from normal S, the group moves to S dash. Okay. So which is why I'll say it is transferase which is doing its work over here. Okay. It's 4. So if you do not see the plus sign over here, you will get things wrong. So this, do not assume that the S and S comes together. No, S plus S slash G is written. Okay. Now find the correct statement. In human pregnancy, the major organ systems are formed at the end of 12 weeks. 12 weeks means basically you're talking about 3 months. At the end of 3 months, do you think that or major organ system are formed? Yes, according to NCERT, definitely yes. Okay. Now human pregnancy, the major organ system are formed at the end of 8 weeks. That is 2 months. 8 weeks means basically you're talking about 2 months. No, no. It takes 3 months. First trimester. After the first trimester only, you will have the major organ system and everything being formed. Okay. At the end of 2 months, you have the limb and the digits and everything being formed, but not the whole system. Now in human pregnancy, heart is formed. So I have to mark it down, right? This is wrong. In human pregnancy, heart is formed after 1 month of gestation. Yes, that is correct. That is the first sign of what say baby, right? Now the human pregnancy, limbs and digits develop from the end of, by the end of the 2nd month. That is also correct. In human pregnancy, the appearance of hair is usually observed in 5th month. Yes, appearance of hair and also body movements is appearing in the 5th month of pregnancy. So I'll say A, C, D, E correct. The only one option is wrong. A, C, D, E only. So this is your answer. Okay, cool. My Siri is trying to listen a lot of things. Yes. Now which of the following is an example of non-distilled alcoholic beverage produced by yeast? What do you mean by non-distilled? Basically in distillation what happens? The water and everything is made to evaporate, my dear children. So it will be a concentrated form of alcohol that you get after distillation. So do you think basically beer or wine, they would be undergoing distillation? Because beer and wine had little amount of concentration of what? Alcohol. That means they have not underwent distillation. So over here you're asked which is example of non-distilled. So beer is an example, wine is not there. So which is why beer is the only thing. Rum, whiskey and brandy, all of them are a product of distillation. Okay, so your answer becomes 4. Cool. Next. Given below are 2 statements. In the RNA world, RNA is considered as the first genetic material evolved to carry out essential life processes. Yes, yeah, and RNA acts as genetic material and also as a catalyst. Yes, it still does, yeah, which is why I'll say that is being more reactive, RNA will be quite unstable. Yes, that is also correct. So all this statement is correct. Now statement 2. DNA evolved from RNA and is more stable genetic material. It is double helical strands being complementary, resist changes by evolving repairing mechanism. That is also correct. So can I say A statement, B statement, both of them are correct? Yes ma'am, I can say that. So 2 is correct, nothing. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. Next thing. Given below are 2 statements. Transfer tRNAs and ribosomal RNAs do not interact with, okay, do not interact with mRNA. Transfer RNA, my dear, tRNA will come and interact with mRNA. It is the one that brings the amino acids, right? So yes, it has to interact. Even the ribosomal RNA, not directly, but yes, it does. Okay. Okay, I'll say it does. So I'll say this particular statement will be false. When you say transfer RNA and ribosomal RNA do not interact with mRNA, would be false statement, incorrect statement. Now RNA interference takes place in all eukaryotic organisms as a method of cellular defense. Yes, it is a method of cellular defense. RNA silencing is a method of cellular defense in the case of eukaryotes, not in the case of prokaryotes. So both statement 1 and 2 again are correct. Sorry, statement 1 is incorrect because as I said, they definitely interact with mRNA. So this will be incorrect and this one will be correct. Okay. So your answer becomes this one. Oh, you wait, not this one. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. 1. Okay. Children, I am tired. I went with a speed of let's say 150 km/h, probably, which is why I am getting tired. Okay, now which of the following diagrams is not correct with in regard to proximal and distal tubule of a nephron? Not correct is what you have to find out, or is correct? Is correct. Is correct is what you have to find out. So look for the things that you see over here. This means basically it is over here. If the arrow was pointing towards the tubule, that means it is getting taken up by the proximal convoluted tubule. If the arrow shows away, basically that means they are being given down to what the blood vessels are there. That means it is reabsorbed. Okay, that is what you have to find out. Okay, so over here, what is the thing that you should be knowing? Bicarbonate ions and NaCl, do you think it is reabsorbed? Yes, it is. That is correct. Okay, hydrogen, okay, sorry, H plus ions and H2O. H2O, is it put back into the proximal convoluted tubule? Is it put back into the proximal convoluted tubule? No. It is something that is taken to the blood vessel. So I'll say this is false. Okay, if you look at this particular aspect, if you go ahead, my dear children, over here also, what do you have? NaCl, okay, so HCO3 and NaCl, that is correct. Okay, but over here again H2O has been mentioned, so I'll say this is will be false again. If you talk about this option, HCO3, NaCl and H2O are being reabsorbed, correct. Yes, it is being reabsorbed. What is given back to the proximal convoluted tubule? H plus and NH3. Yes, ammonia and stuff like that, they are going to remain. So I'll say this is correct for proximal convoluted tubule, but have to see distal. So distal one, again it also gives NaCl, H2O and bicarbonate ions, yes, and potassium and H plus ions, they are gonna get into distal convoluted tubule, that is also correct. So according to me, until now this has been correct. Let's go ahead with the next one. So here H plus NH3 is there, okay. Here HCO3, NaCl and this is there, that is correct. But over here NaCl is there, that is wrong. Okay, it would be wrong. NaCl is not something that would be taken up. Okay, it would be given to the blood vessels. So yes. Over here also, if you see H plus, this is correct. HCO3, NaCl and H2O. Okay. Okay, this is the option. Oh my god, my brain is not braining. Okay, that's what I was thinking. This is the same option. So your answer is this one, my dear children. I'm so sorry. Brain is not braining anymore. So this is the only one correct. This is incorrect, and this is also incorrect because of H2O, and over there NaCl. Okay, going ahead. What is the pattern of inheritance for polygenic trait? Polygenic trait means more than one genes are going to code for one particular character, that is probably skin color and things like that. So does it follow Mendelian laws of inheritance, my dear children? No. Can I say it is non-Mendelian inheritance pattern? Because according to Mendel, one gene, one character. But now you have multiple genes for one particular character. So it is X-linked recessive inheritance pattern wrong, Mendelian inheritance pattern wrong, non-Mendelian inheritance pattern yes, okay, and autosomal dominant pattern no. So your answer is this one. Cool? Yes. Next one. In the seeds of cereals, the outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a protein-rich layer known as. So basically, when you talk about cereals, you're talking about monocots. And monocots, my dear children, their endosperm has a covering, and that is known as aleuron layer. That is very much important for germination to happen. Okay, what is it? Aleuron layer. So one is the answer. Not coleoptile, not coleorhiza, not integument. Coleoptile is the one that is there on the what do you call at the top portion of your, what do you call it, plumule. Yeah, coleorhiza is towards the radicle and integument is the covering of the seed. So not the seed exactly, it is the covering of the ovule. Yeah, and the ovule will be converting into a seed later on. So yes, the answer is 1. Now you have match list 1 with list 2. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, xanthophylls and carotenoids. The easiest one is xanthophylls. Xanthophylls are yellow pigments. Okay, so xanthophylls go with yellow. C goes with 2 and carotenoids are yellow to orange. So C goes with 2, C goes with 2, yes, I have 2 options like that, and D goes with 4, D goes with 4, I have just 1 option like that, so 3 becomes my answer. Okay, still let me go ahead. Okay, chlorophyll A which is there, it goes with blue green algae habit, and chlorophyll B is yellow green. Okay, next thing. Which of the following genetically engineered organism was used by Eli Lilly to prepare human insulin? It was E. coli, my dear children, and E. coli is what? A bacterium. Is it a phage? No. Is it a bacterium? Yes. Is it a yeast? No. Is it a virus? No. It is just bacterium. The answer is E. coli. Okay, remember that. So your answer will become 2. Now, which of the following are the post-transcriptional events in eukaryote cell? After transcription, what is going to happen? Transcription means what? DNA has been converted into RNA. What RNA? hnRNA. This hnRNA undergoes certain processing to form the mature RNA, mRNA. Okay, always remember that. So you're asked about this processing and all those things that happens after transcription. When hnRNA converts into mRNA, what are the things that you can see? First, transport of pre-mRNA to the cytoplasm prior to splicing. No. Wait. Prior to splicing, it cannot go, first of all. Now, removal of introns and joining of exons. Yes, my dear children, when you form the HNRNA, it will have introns, the non-coding genes. So, you have to remove that and you have to join the exons together. So, I'll say this is correct. Addition of methyl group at the 5' end of HNRNA. Yes, that is correct. Okay, that is known as capping. And addition of adenine residue at the 3' end of HNRNA, that is known as tailing. These three things are very much important processing units. Okay, this is known as splicing, this is known as capping, this is known as tailing. Base pairing of two complementary RNAs. Why are you doing to do that? So just B, C and D, that is a post-transcriptional events that occurs in the eukaryotic cell. B, C and D only. It's a very easy question. Okay, so 3 becomes your answer. Next. Centromere, cilium, cristae, cell membrane. Again, very easy to spot. Cilium is there for movement. So, cell movement. B goes with 3. B goes with 3. Do have an option? No, no option. So, A, this is the first answer. Centromere, my dear children, is there for cell division because I told you spindle fibers come attached on the kinetochore which is there on the centromere and they will be helping cell division. Cristae is found in mitochondria. Cell membrane is made up of phospholipid bilayer. So, which is why your answer becomes 1. Easiest question. Okay. Now, Halford, Hershey and Martha Chase, euchromatin, Frederick and heterochromatin. Let's see. So, basically, Frederick Griffith was working on Streptococcus pneumoniae. C goes with 1. C goes with 1. Do have an option like that? 3 of them. Chalo, we have to look for something else. Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase. DNA as a genetic material confirmation was given by them. So, A goes with 4. A goes with 4. I have just 2 options like that. So, I'll cut these options. Yes. And C goes with 1. C goes with 1. I have 2 options like that. Okay. Now, euchromatin is a loosely packed DNA and it is lightly stained, my dear children. So, B goes with 3. Okay. B goes with 3. Yes. And heterochromatin is what? Densely packed. Which is why this becomes your answer. Cool? Yes, ma'am. All cool. So, yes. Next. Which chromosome in the human genome has the highest number of genes? Chromosome number 1. Which has the lowest number of genes? Chromosome number Y. Always remember. So, chromosome number 1 is your answer for this particular question. Okay. Okay. Next question. What are the potential drawbacks in the adoption of IVF method? High fatality risk to mother. Wrong. Expensive instruments and reagents. Correct. This is a drawback. Husband and wife necessary being donors, no, my dear children, others can also be donors. Less adoption of orphans, yes, that is a drawback. Not available in India, wrong. Possibility that the early embryo does not survive, that can be true. Okay, that can be true because it's an IVF method. There are a lot of other reasons for it. So, yes, that is the reason. So, B, D and F are the things that would be the possible drawbacks that you can see. So, 2 becomes your answer. Okay, yes. Now, which of the following is an example of ex situ conservation, that is conservation outside their natural habitat, my dear children? So, protected area, national park, wildlife sanctuary, zoos and botanical gardens. Zoo and botanical gardens are the things. Easiest, okay? Because in zoo, I am going to take the organism from here and put in the zoo. Even botanical gardens, I am going to take the plant and put it there. So, it's not in their original habitat and it's not there in the natural habitat. It is ex situ form of conservation. Now, 172. A specialized membrane is structured in a prokaryotic cell which helps in cell wall formation, DNA replication and respiration is. Basically, you know, prokaryotes do not have a lot of things in them, right? They do have membrane bound organelles, my dear children. Do they have it? No, right? They do not have mitochondria for respiration and things like that. Instead, they will be having mesosome for doing all these things. Okay, they would be having mesosome, which is a structure that is there for cell wall formation, for DNA replication and for respiration as well, majorly. So, your answer becomes 2. Okay, going ahead with the next question. Question is given over here. Tetracycline resistant site is there, origin of replication is there, ampicillin resistant site is there. There is beta carotenoid producing gene, but here you have a site for EcoR1, that is a restriction enzyme. Here you have a site for BAMH1, that is also a restriction enzyme. In the above represented plasmid, an alien species of pieces of DNA is inserted at the EcoR1 site. Okay, if I put it over here, which of the following strategies will be chosen to select the recombinant colonies? Which one will I choose for selecting the recombinant colonies? My dear children, if I put EcoR1 over here, beta carotenoid is not going to work. It's not going to be produced, right? Insertional inactivation is going to happen. And hence, if I put a chromogenic substance, it won't be showing the color, blue color. Which is why I would be able to identify it. If there is no blue color, if there is white color colonies, my dear children, I will understand that this is the one that has recombinant DNA. So, blue color colonies grown on ampicillin plates can be selected. Usually in ampicillin tetracycline containing medium plates, no. Blue color colonies will be selected, white color colonies will be selected. This is a white one which will be selected because over here I am inserting something which is why it is becoming inactive. Okay, so there is no blue color colonies, there is white color colonies being formed. Okay, so your answer becomes 4. Now, what is the name of the blood vessel that carries deoxygenated blood from the body to the heart? Not heat, okay, heart in a frog, my dear children. Body back to the heart. It has to be a vein. Towards the heart, it is a vein. Away from the heart, it is an artery. A for away and towards, it's vein. Now, what is a vein that carries towards the heart? It is a vena cava, my dear children. So, vena cava, aorta, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Your answer is vena cava. Okay, not pulmonary vein, because pulmonary vein comes between lungs and the heart. Okay, lungs. That is why pulmonary term comes in. So, over here it's body and the heart. So, it is vena cava. Okay, last 6 questions, my dear children. Which of the following organisms cannot fix nitrogen? Azotobacter, Oscillatoria, Anabaena, Volvox, Nostoc. My dear children, all of them can, but Volvox cannot. Volvox is something that is out of the box. Okay, Azotobacter can, Oscillatoria can, Anabaena can, Nostoc can. Okay, so please remember it is Volvox that is the wrong option. D. Now, while trying to find out the characteristics of a newly found animal, researchers did the histology of adult animal and observed a cavity in the presence with presence of mesodermal tissue towards the body wall. Towards the body wall, there is mesodermal tissue, but no mesodermal tissue was observed towards the alimentary canal. That means with the inside it was not there, but outside there was mesodermal tissue, my dear children. What could be the possible coelom of that animal? If it was coelomate, it would be having mesodermal lining towards both the sides. The cavity will be in the middle. Okay. If it is acoelomate, my dear children, there won't be mesodermal at all, mesodermal tissue at all. If you are having mesodermal tissue towards one side, another side is not there, it would be pseudocoelomates. It could be pseudocoelomates, my dear children. Spongocoelomates, acoelomates, pseudocoelomates or schizocoelomate. Your answer is pseudocoelomate. Okay. Yes. Next, which one of the following statements refers to reductionist biology? Behavioral approach to study and understand living organisms? No. Physico-chemical approach to study and understand living organism? Yes. That is reductionist biology. Okay. Physiological approach to study and understand living organism? No. Chemical approach to study and understand living organism? No. It has been put down from NCERT, like directly from NCERT. So, it is this one. Okay. Something that we tend to not, give much attention, but yes. Now, epiphytes that are growing on the mango branch is an example of which of the following? Epiphytes, my dear children. Epiphyte, they are growing on the mango tree. Why? Because they want sunlight and everything. Are they harming the mango plant? No. So, is the mango plant getting any benefit of it? No. So, can I say it's commensalism, where one organism gets the benefit, other organism is neither affected nor harmed, nor benefited nor harmed. It's a neutral relationship that is there. So, mango is the one that is neither affected nor harmed, and your orchid, which is there, it is acting as an epiphyte, my dear children, it is the one that is getting benefit. So, I will say it's commensalism. Okay, it is commensalism. 79th question. Which of the following phytohormones promotes nutrient mobilization, which helps in the delay of leaf senescence in plants? Which is the one that helps in nutrient remobilization or mobilization movement of the nutrients, my dear children? Is it cytokinin, is it ethylene, is it abscisic acid or gibberellin? Your answer is cytokinin. So, along with cell division and all these things, they also have this function to do. Okay, and this is why it delays what? Leaf senescence. The opposite of it is seen by abscisic acid. Okay, it will lead to senescence. Now, the complex 2, the last question which is out there. The complex 2 of mitochondrial of mitochondrial electron transport chain is also known as NADH dehydrogenase, cytochrome BC1, succinate dehydrogenase or cytochrome C oxidase. You are talking about complex number 2, it is succinate dehydrogenase, my dear children. It had been 1, it is different. Okay, so please remember yours. Complex 2 is this one. And with that, yes, we have completed the whole paper, my dear children. If you have any queries around it, you can still put it down in the comment section. I will be available over here to answer to your doubts. And also, if this was helpful for you, you have to let me know that as well. I have put down my efforts, right? And you have to see that. Yes, that's only when we teachers also will become so happy. And my dear children, as I told you already, whatever happened. Do not be too much worried about it. Okay, and whatever happens, it happens for good as well. So make sure you are lingering on to that, you're lingering on the positive fact, and my dear children, you're going to do absolutely good in your life. Always remember. And we are here to help you out with that. We are going to bring out the long-term NEET term course. So make sure you are in line with our program. You are aware that this particular thing is happening. I know there are so many other organizations which are doing a lot of things for you guys. I agree. But this is also an organization which have been working more towards offline. So in the offline area, my dear children, we have schools, we have integration programs, we have this and that. We also have certain centers, yeah, but we are trying to bring out as much help as we can for you guys who are there in online media as well, right? So we definitely have helped a lot of children in our Deeksha Karnataka channel, which is the main channel out there. This is a sister channel that we have where we are primarily focusing on the NEET aspirants. So my dear children, make sure you are utilizing this, okay? You're utilizing this particular channel, and also any update that comes throughout from this particular channel is about the NEET long-term program which is there, which could be offline, my dear children, and could be really, really helpful for you guys. So make sure you're subscribing, and please don't forget to take care of yourself. You have already done so good in your life, and you are going to do so good in your life again as well. Yes, so that's all, and bye-bye. Take care.